Hello, my penguin army. My army of penguins that I will use to take back our Antarctica, I guess, from the walruses. Hi. Yesterday at 9 a.m. Pacific time and at 12 p.m. Eastern time, Nintendo held their E3 conference, their E3 Direct, and oh boy, it was a good one. Let's just say that. First of all, I'm not going to be doing videos on the other conferences unless you guys want me to. Unless this video does well. If this video does well, I will do videos on the other conferences. And also, if you want to see my full reaction to the Nintendo Direct, if you want to see my full reaction, or just see highlights, wait until tomorrow or Friday. And on Spectrum, you can watch a Game Room podcast, which is a podcast that I am a part of, where you can watch me and the other Spectrum guys, except Christian, their reaction to our reaction to the E3 Direct. And if you just don't want to see like our reaction to Worms and stuff like that, the stuff that's not going to be in the best of, you can wait until Thursday, Friday, or tomorrow, Friday, to see my reactions, or just the highlights of the show, were the best reactions and all that. But with all that said, let's just go ahead and begin. The show cold opens with a Smash reveal, and you see a dead Ganondorf corpse, and you kind of think, well, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, Breath of the Wild 2? It's definitely not going to be Breath of the Wild 2, because, one, it would not be Breath of the Wild. It's not in the art style of Breath of the Wild. That's Ocarina of Time, Ganondorf, and Twilight Princess Ganondorf. A lot of people went straight to Breath of the Wild 2. I did not think that. I thought it was a Zelda character reveal for Smash. But it wasn't. It was Kyuza from Tekken. I think that's how you pronounce that. I don't know. I'm not really a Tekken fan. But his moveset looked pretty cool. He had this constant hell theme of like, it was like 2 kicks from hell or something like that. I don't know. He looks cool. I'm probably not gonna buy him because I haven't bought any of the DLC for Smash yet. The only ones I really want are Banjo and and maybe Joker. Joker from Persona 5 is also really cool. After that, they went into Life is Strange coming to the Switch, the remastered collection. I have and also the new one, Life is Strange True Colors. I don't care about Life is Strange either. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I'm not a big fan of those kinds of games. I'm sorry. I don't have anything against the series. I think it's a perfectly fine series, but it's just not. I don't really care about it all that much. I might give it a go. I might play it like eventually, but probably not. I just don't really care about Life is Strange. Sorry. But I mean, I will say this: the art style for True Colors looked gorgeous. It looked so pretty. It looks beautiful. Then it did this quick little reel of a whole bunch of games that are coming to Switch, and it basically said the Nintendo Switch has something for everybody, and it proceeded to show off the new Guardians of the Galaxy game, Worms Rumble, a new RPG called like Astral something. I can't remember what it was, but it looked really cool. That's the one that I'm most interested in. Astria Ascending. Okay, yeah, Astria, and then it did Astria Ascending, and oh boy, Astria Ascending is easily out of the 4. And after Astria Ascending, it did some like sim game that looked like The Sims, but like worse. It looks kind of like the game. What was it like? Totally Reliable Delivery Service, but if it was like The Sims, it looked really weird. I don't care about that one, but the one that I cared the most about was Astria Ascending. That one looks so cool. It looks like the art style is awesome. It looks like another cool RPG. Definitely gonna give that one a go. I'm highly interested in that one. And then of course, like I said, after that they did the Sims weird crossover that I can't remember the name of because I don't care about it. Then after that they did the Monkey Ball anniversary. Now, I, like everybody else, saw the bananas and the yellow and thought it was Donkey Kong. Despite the fact that it was, looking back on it, it was so painfully obvious that it was Monkey Ball. It literally said rolls into its 20th, it rolls into its 20th anniversary. It used the word roll. And it had the balls all over the screen, all that. Yeah, it was so obvious. And I mean, it looked like, but I mean, even though I was kind of like, ah, man, I kind of hoping it would be Donkey Kong. I don't care. I am super excited for the Monkey Ball collection, Banana Mania, I believe it was called. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be amazing. It's a collection of like it's a collection of the Monkey Ball games. Oh man, what a way to celebrate that! And I really hope that it's not gonna be like too expensive. It's probably gonna be $60, but I mean, for that many games, that's gonna be good. That's like a pretty good price for that many high quality games. And that one is slated for this year as well. That one's gonna be coming out this year, so that's pretty awesome. And then yet another game that was slated for this year that was announced directly after Monkey Ball is a new Mario Party. Now that one was really not that surprising. I expected a new Mario Party. But what I didn't expect it to be kind of like the Top 100, where it's like a collection of all of the N64 stuff. It's a collection of the N64 maps, the N64 games, and it's called Mario Party Superstars. I think it's Superstars. Yeah. I am skeptical because Mario Party the Top 100 burnt me pretty bad. I thought it was a pretty bad game. But I mean, this is the N64 ones. The N64 ones are notoriously pretty good. Like, notoriously the best Mario Party games to so many people. I personally haven't really played them all that much. I need to play more. I need to play them a lot more if to really, truly form opinions on them. But I'm excited for this one. It's coming out October 29th. So that's going to be pretty cool. It's slated, yeah. That's going to be awesome. And then, Mr. Takahashi, he basically said, hey, Metroid Prime 4 is going good. It's going well. Metroid Prime 4 is going really, really well. And I was like, okay, that's enough. Like, I don't need to, that's all I need to know. But then he says, but in the meantime, take this. And then we see Samus drop from the ceiling. And let's just say, I kind of freaked out. Because I remember when we were watching the Direct, I know obviously you're probably going to want to watch it for yourself. And I would recommend, even though I'm about to tell you what happens, I would recommend watching it for yourself because it's truly an experience watching it. Once the video is out, I'll leave it in the description. But basically, me, Isaac, and Kai, we were talking, and me and Connor, we were all talking, and I wasn't paying attention, and Isaac was listening like a normal person, and was like, and then Mr. Takahashi said something about Metroid Prime 4. And Isaac was like, hey, Dallas, he said something about Metroid Prime 4, and I was like, what? And, I told everybody to shut up, essentially. I was like, shush, and they did, and then he was like, it's going steadily, and I'm like, yes, it's going good, and he's like, it's not gonna get scrapped again, and then I was like, I was content with that, and then he says, but in the meantime, take this, and I started to lose it. I was like, oh my god, oh boy, what could this possibly be? For some reason, my mind didn't go to Metroid 5, but then, whenever it did say Metroid 5, I lost it. I didn't quite get to that level of freaking out, because then it cut to gameplay and it showed this monster robot guy chasing Samus, and I was like, oh my god, gameplay! It's showing gameplay. They're actually starting to show stuff for Metroid, and I'm like, oh my god, this is incredible. And then the thing catches her, and it shoots her in the face, and then it says Metroid on a black screen. It says Metroid, and then underneath it, in blood red letters with like glitchy effects, it says Dread. And that was the moment when I broke my friend's eardrums. Because if you don't know about Dread, Metroid Dread, it has literally been an idea, a concept since 2004, and it was almost completed. It was worked on. It was like near completion. Basically, what happened was, in 2004, they had the idea for Metroid Dread, and then in 2007, with Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, basically what happened was, you could scan something, and it basically said Metroid Project Dread is nearing completion. Either way, people were like, what's Metroid Dread? And then they said it was a thing, and they canceled it, and it wasn't being worked on anymore. And then, yesterday, I mean, they were like, hey, here you go, Metroid Dread. And like I said, I broke my friend's eardrums. If you want to see that reaction, please stay tuned until either tomorrow or Friday to see that. Oh my god, it was insane. Anyway, after Metroid Dread, which showed a lot of gameplay, and it's slated for this year, Metroid Dread is coming October 8th this year. Oh, that was also a big moment for me. That was also a moment where I freaked out. Me personally, I'm getting the game the day it comes out, and that is going to be the first time I buy a game the day it comes out since the Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC, if that even counts as a game. Which in that case, this will be the first game I ever buy the day it comes out. Because most of the time I wait for it to go on sale because I'm cheap. After that, they said familiar franchises return to Nintendo Switch, and Just Dance 2022. I don't care. Directly after, like, because I remember even in the direct, Connor was making fun of it because he was like, oh, who cares about Metroid Dread? We got Just Dance on here. It's because it's like after Dread, like all of us agreed, we were like, after Metroid Dread, you can't show off Just Dance 2022 and expect people to give a crap. Sorry, I know there's Just Dance fans out there. Then they did Cruise and Blast, which is actually really cool. It is a remake of an N64 racing game. I believe it was a remake, either that or it's a sequel, something like that. That's really cool. I might give that a go. Then now you probably if you know me, I'm actually not a Dragon Ball fan. I'm sorry, I just don't really like Dragon Ball. But then they did Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, plus a new Power Awakens set, something like that. Very long title. I called it Dragon Ball Carrot. It actually looks really good. It looked surprisingly really good for a Dragon Ball game. And that's also coming out this year. That's coming out on September 24th. That's crazy. Once again, another big game slated for this year. And then they went to Mario Golf Super Rush stuff. Balls can bounce off walls and Mario Odyssey content. And just reminding you that it's coming out later this month on the 25th of June. After Mario Golf Super Rush, they did Monster Hunter Stories 2. I have only ever really played one Monster Hunter game, and that's Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. I'm sorry. Monster Hunter is a good series, and I need to play more of it, specifically Rise, because I played the demo for Rise, and I absolutely loved Rise. I loved the demo. So, I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see what this is, and it's coming out this year as well. And for some reason, the demo is coming out like a week before the actual game. So I'm like, why is it coming out that soon to the actual game? I don't know. I thought that was a bit weird, but I mean, there are probably some people who are fine with it. But then, directly after that, they did a different one, which is, I think, a way better announcement. WarioWare. Yeah, a lot of people expected WarioWare. I did not. I expected nothing from I expected WarioWare to be announced in a, normal direct, not an E3 direct. And it wasn't. It was announced at E3, and, I've never played a WarioWare game. It looks like a really fun series. The concept is really cool, and the gimmick about this one is you control a little WarioWare characters, and they each have their own different abilities. And it's called WarioWare Get It Together, and that's coming out on September 10th. So another game that's slated for this year. That's crazy. There's so many games that are slated for this year. That's awesome. After WarioWare, Shin Megami Tensei 5. I don't know if we already knew about this. Shin Megami Tensei is a game that I have not played. I have not played any of the Shin Megami games. It looks cool, though. It looks really cool. I'll definitely end up giving it a go because it actually looks really, really good. I just don't know if I should play the other games first. That's the only problem. That's the only thing that I'm like, should I play Shin Megami 1 through 4 first? Yeah, and that's coming out this year as well. I almost forgot. It's coming out November 12th. That's also coming out this year. So many huge games that are coming out this year. They did this bear game called Droppin' Danga or whatever. Droppin' Danga. The 10-year anniversary for that bear game. Then, I think they did Fatal Frame. Similar to a lot of the other games on here, similar to Shin Megami. I have not played it. Sorry. I remember in the reaction to the direct, I made fun of it and was like, "Oh, it's like new Pokemon Snap, but ghosts." I know that was a joke. I hope you know that was a joke. Anyway, they went over. I also really want to play Fatal Frame. It looks really cool. Anyway, sorry. Now we're moving on. Games and DLC coming soon. Doom Eternal DLC is coming. That looks awesome as well. I haven't played any of the Doom games, but apparently Doom Eternal was really, really good. I want to play it because it just looks cool. It looks really nice. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 are being remastered from the ground up. That is, or not remastered, they're being remastered in HD. That's really, 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 really cool. Especially since Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, I believe, is the second highest rated game on Metacritic, beaten only by Ocarina of Time. So that's awesome. Metacritic is probably really happy right now. Then they did this game called, I believe it was Strange Brigade, and it looked also really cool. It looked like a ancient Egyptian puzzler explorer type game. And I mean, it looks really cool, and I really, really, really want to give it a try. And then they went into Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. It looks really, 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 really cool. I'm really excited for this game. It looks more open. It seems like they've changed the combat a little bit. Very happy about that. And then directly after that, they announced a game that a lot of people lost their minds to. Unfortunately, I was not one of them, but a lot of people lost their minds to the Advance Wars remake. They were remaking Advanced Wars 1 and 2 for the Switch, and that's awesome. I'm like, it's because I've wanted to try out Advanced Wars for a while, but like the games are just so expensive that I'm like, I don't really. I could buy on the Virtual Console, but I also really like having I prefer having physical games because it just makes me feel better. I'm like thinking, I'm gonna get these games. I'm gonna get the Advanced Wars. Then Mr. Yoshiaki Koizumi, Mr. Koizumi, he basically said, hey, this is the last thing. And then they showed Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity DLC, and I was like, there's no way this is not, there's no way this is the last thing. And it wasn't. But on the bright, but I mean, the Age of Calamity DLC did look really cool. You could play as a Guardian. Zelda was riding the Master Psycho, which was like really cool. Then oh my goodness, Eiji Aonuma, Mr. Aonuma. Yeah, he basically said, "Hey, Zelda's 35th anniversary is here, and this is all you're getting." And in that moment, I was very upset. But on the bright side, they did show off a few cool things. Like, so let me explain. I'll explain why this is not good at the end of this. So, he showed off Skyward Sword HD. I really like Skyward Sword. I know a lot of people. I know it's a really mixed game, but I like it. He showed off a Game & Watch that contains the first Zelda, Zelda 2, and Link's Awakening, and this Game & Watch game. I'm like, that's really cool, the fact that they included Link's Awakening as well. And then Breath of the Wild 2. They showed off some gameplay from it, and it looked absolutely incredible. I mean, this might just be the excitement and the hype talking, but Breath of the Wild 2, from what I've seen, Breath of the Wild is my second favorite Zelda game. If this game is just more Breath of the Wild, but with a more darker and serious tone with Sky Islands, which, by the way, when I was a kid, Sky Island games were my favorite. Skylanders, Skyward Sword, I loved them to death. And the fact that this game has Sky Islands that you can explore, this game could become my new favorite Zelda game. It's just, there's a very high chance. And, like, they showed off Link's robot arm, and, like, that's where his Sheikah powers come from, and he has fire powers and water powers, and he's like swims through the hard stuff, and then like he freaking, oh my god, and then like, oh, the music was so good, because like directly after he came out of the thing, after he became water, it started doing the teaser trailer theme, but super fast, and like it started doing like this bell theme. It was like dong dong, and it was so cool. Oh, and then the castle started to float with like the Calamity swinging all around it. Oh, it was so cool. But here's the thing, if that is all there is for the Zelda 5th anniversary, that means that all there is DLC for a game that not a lot of people really care about, a $60 HD port of a Wii game that a lot of people don't like, that is actually one of the most hated on Zelda games, a Game & Watch, and the sequel to the game that we already knew was going to happen regardless of the 35th anniversary that's not even coming out this year, because it was slated for 2022, and there wasn't even a name reveal. If that's all there is, that is extremely disappointing. Even when it came to Mario's, they had 3D All-Stars. And even though I don't like 3D All-Stars very much, it was at least something good. It was at least something where it's like, you can play the old games on the Switch. If this is all there is, I am super disappointed with this anniversary. But I got Breath of the Wild 2. I can't complain that much. And oh my god, did I get Breath of the Wild 2. I didn't just get Breath of the Wild 2. I got Breath of the Wild 2. Oh my god. I am ecstatic for it. And I am... Oh my god, I cannot wait for next year now. So overall, this Direct was really good. I highly enjoyed it. Like, obviously, they did, like, obviously, Metroid Dread was the highlight for me. Metroid Dread and Breath of the Wild 2. Breath of the Wild 2 might have been the highlight for me. No, but it's like, because Metroid Dread made me freak out, like, scream, but Breath of the Wild 2 was, like, so ecstatic. Like, I was so ecstatic for it that I was just, like, quiet. I looked at it, and I'm like, oh my god. Oh, and then the music. E3 2020 for Nintendo was really good. It wasn't quite as good as 2017, but definitely better than 2018 and probably better than 2019 as well. Overall, I would say this Direct was like a solid 7 or 8 out of 10. Like, this was a good Nintendo Direct. So thank you all very much for tuning in with me and letting me ramble for around 30 to like 25 minutes about Nintendo's E3. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.